Conspiracy theory. Liberals, whether religious or political, routinely intone the phrase whenever a conservative suggests that the bad guys just might be working together behind the scenes. But consider the following. It's a wish list from a secret meeting of would-be liturgical reformers and gives their proposals for changes in the Mass. Having the priest start the Mass at the bench, using the vernacular, introducing more scripture, reducing genuflections, changing the offertory prayers, de-emphasizing the consecration, shortening the canon. You might say, that hardly sounds conspiratorial. These changes were talked about openly in the 1960s, and they all became part of the new Mass. Of course, but the secret meeting wasn't held in the 1960s. It was held at Bounce Abbey in Germany in 1948, and the man making the proposals was Joseph Jungmann. These were all part of what he called his Traum in Herzen, his heart's dream for the reform of the Mass. Surprisingly, the process that would turn these dreams into the reality of the Mass of Paul VI began at once. Chapter 3 of Work of Human Hands tells the story of that process, how it unfolded step by step, reform by reform, beginning in 1948 and finally arriving at its goal in April 1969, when Paul VI promulgated his new Mass. In 1948, a Vatican commission was appointed to study the question of liturgical reform. The secretary of the commission was Annibale Bugnini, a secret supporter of the liturgical movement's left wing. Under Bugnini, with Jungmann as a consultant, the commission would introduce a series of gradual liturgical changes throughout the 1950s. A new Easter Vigil rite in 1951, a simplification of the rubrics in 1955, completely revised rites for Holy Week in 1955, permission for lay commentators and lectors in 1958. As these changes were being introduced in the 1950s, Bugnini called them a bridge to the future, part of building a new city in which the man of our age can live and feel at ease. Bugnini urged those eager for a fuller renewal to keep their eyes open, because liturgical reform would require the enlightened collaboration of all the active forces. In 1960, after John XXIII announced he was convoking the Second Vatican Council, the previous changes and simplifications were consolidated into a temporary code. Meanwhile, Bugnini, aided by Jungmann, was assigned to write Vatican II's Constitution on the Sacred Liturgy. The Constitution contains much orthodox terminology and recommends some praiseworthy things, but its creators deliberately salted it with ambiguous or equivocal statements that could later be used to implement radical changes. Retain tradition, yes, but allow legitimate progress too. Preserve Latin, but give the vernacular a place. Rites should be noble, but also simple. Keep sacred images, but don't let them cause confusion. To bypass the conservatives in the Roman Curia, Paul VI created a new agency to implement the liturgical changes, Concilium, and put Bugnini in charge. Bugnini set up a special Concilium subcommittee, Study Group 10, to formulate a new order of Mass. Its head was Monsignor Johannes Wagner, who had taken the notes at the secret meetings in Germany in 1948. Among its 11 members was Louis Bouyer, the proponent of the new theology of the Mass as assembly rather than as a sacrifice. And of course, Joseph Jungmann, whose 1948 Traum in Herzen, his heart's dream, for a stripped-down Mass he could now make a reality. To find out how the liturgical revolutionaries slowly made the traditional Mass disappear, step by step, over 20 years, see The Creation of the New Mass, Chapter 3 of Work of Human Hands, a theological critique of the Mass of Paul VI. Our next chapter, Lost in Translation. To order Work of Human Hands and to read excerpts, visit www.philotheapress.com.